have always liked watching the baptism of other people. In my home church growing up, we didn't have the font out regularly, and so whenever it came out and the sort of lid was taken off, we knew there was a baptism, and I was always so excited looking around for where the baby was. Usually in my church, and in most Presbyterian churches, people are baptized as babies. It's not always true, but it is often true. I can remember in that same home church when I was older, there was a child who came forward for baptism. She was about 5 years old, and it was delightful to watch her because she was so filled with wonder and curiosity. The pastor let her touch the water and sort of explain how it felt for people. And then he said, "How's the temperature? Is it okay?" Immediately after, there was a nervous look on his face as he realized that if she didn't like the temperature, he had no way to change it. Luckily, she said it was just fine, and we proceeded with the baptism. I don't know if this little girl will remember that moment in her baptism. I don't know how much of her baptism she will remember at all. I certainly remember it. We are told often as Christians that we should remember our baptism. Some of us in this room were baptized as adults, and maybe you have a clear picture of that day. Some of us were baptized as babies, and so what we know, we learn from stories. That's how our memory is built. Maybe we piece things together when we witness other people's baptism. And what I remember as well is that when we see other people baptized, we as a community of God's people make promises to this newly baptized sibling in Christ to encourage and to support them. But you know, when we are told that we should remember our baptisms, we're not just supposed to pull up a mental picture. When we remember our baptisms, we remember that we have been called God's beloved, that God claims us, and that God sends us out with a purpose to share God's love and peace and justice in the world. So when we share our gifts, when we offer our time and our talent and our treasure, that is a part of remembering our baptism. It is remembering who we are and living it out, making it a living memory. And so now we are given the opportunity today to give of the gifts of our lives so that we can remember our baptism. You can do that by placing a gift in the offering plate or in the little white church in the narthex, or giving online or dropping something off to the church office. But you have been claimed in everything that you are. And so the gifts that you have, they're not just in your bank account. Maybe you want to give the gift of your time to support our faith formation work, join the nursery workers or Sunday school teachers, Kingdom Kids leaders. Maybe you want to join another committee of the church. Our committees are the places where the planning for our work here and our shared life of faith happens. Maybe you want to help in sharing the meal at St. Paul's this week. And if you can't give your time in person, you can still bring in food, soup or chili, bread or cheese for sandwiches, desserts. There are so many ways that we can give of the gift of our lives as an act of remembrance of our baptism and who God calls us to be. In this moment of musical reflection, let us commit our gifts to God, and then we will pray and offer them all.